I used to be the shy, quiet kid who'd never raise a finger against the injustices of life. I never argued with the teacher when they'd wrong me, and I'd let all the kids get in my face all the time. I never stood my own ground, so that means I never really managed to change anything in my situation. I was too much of a coward to face the bullshit that was being thrown at me every day. I was always too scared to take responsibility for anything, and so I would turn to an authority figure. A teacher, an adult, another one of my more masculine friends. I'd spend most of the school breaks with the girls since they were always nice and never said anything even slightly challenging to me. Sadly, I think I was that one male friend that girls always used to gossip with. Not proud of that. But as time went on and I grew older, the injustices became harder to ignore. Shoves, pushes, direct insults, and a bunch of shit being talked behind my back. I'm not sure why I seemed such a good target for all that bullying. It might have been because of my increased feminine nature, which developed a lot after spending so much time around girls. Or I simply look like a bitch. Who knows? This kind of behavior continued for several years, up to the point where I had no self-confidence or no self-esteem left. Sometimes I couldn't even get angry at my aggressors anymore. I just got so used to it that at some point it just seemed normal. I became used to being the guy who essentially had no friends who actually gave a shit about him. The idea of being this kissless virgin who will never have a woman in his life started forming in my mind. It became more and more believable with every passing day. There had been several times by this point where I had emotional breakdowns and I was not capable of controlling myself at all. I just suddenly burst into tears and whimper like a little kid for God knows how long. The next day though, I was back to normal. I couldn't let my family see me in this miserable position, so I'd cover up any trace of the problem. I don't think my parents truly understood what was happening up until the point where I just couldn't control myself anymore and I'd just come home crying like a little kid. Even once they knew, there was not much they could really do about it. Teachers and other adults were involved, but in the end it didn't really change anything. In some ways it actually made things worse. I put up with this shit for years, and it drained any joy that I felt for being alive. I used to genuinely start panicking when I'd be on the car and I'd be going to school or handball practice. My heart would beat really fast and I'd be really stressed and scared. After that, the panic would just come up with any kind of random thought of those places or people. Think about that, man. My heart would start racing and I'd just go in this state of anxiety just by thinking about those things. The simple idea of having to go back to those places stressed me out more than anything else. This was my daily routine. Be anxious in the morning, go to school, get fucked over for 6 hours, get anxious about handball practice, get fucked over for another 1 hour and a half, go home, and start being anxious about the next day. But things get worse before they get any better. And so after finishing 8th grade, I went into the summer holiday. That is when I discovered self-improvement. In the past years and several months, I've improved my life by changing my old ways. One thing which I didn't really know about that was that by changing my old ways, I'd also have to heal my old trauma that remained with me for so long. This made things harder than they were supposed to be. Oftentimes I felt a lack of motivation for myself, feeling as if whatever I would do would never make a difference in the end. There were plenty of times when I just didn't want to get out of bed anymore. But I reminded myself that things were never supposed to be easy. That I was not supposed to be happy all the time and act like a little bitch when things didn't go my way. The memories and thoughts of the people who used to fuck me over in the past years seemed to haunt me. One night, I literally ended up dreaming of a situation in which I was being bullied. I used to wake up in the morning thinking about them. It felt like my mind was constantly obsessing over them, although I never see them again since I was heading off to high school now. But even with my mind trying to bring me down, I still pushed through. I remained disciplined and I didn't give up when things got hard. I can still remember the time when I went out on this usual morning run and it was boiling outside. I felt so much resistance to go and finish the run, yet I went ahead with it. As I finally reached the end, I stopped for a moment and then just burst into tears. I was so proud of what I managed to achieve for myself that it single-handedly brought back some of the respect I lost for myself so much time ago. Through times like these, I built myself up from the ground. And so, a little while ago, I was thinking back on all the experiences which I used to curse before. But now, they no longer made me upset. I realized that I finally got over them. I was finally at peace. Looking back on what I went through, it definitely wasn't nice. It was years of fear, anger, and resentment. But it makes me so proud to know that even when others try to bring me down to their pathetic level, I stood by myself and did the right thing. I'm proud to admit that I've reversed years of damage and that I've created something beautiful for myself. I built confidence, discipline, self-respect, and awareness. I'm grateful to know that I've learned the lesson this early while others are still wasting their time with useless shit. I'm grateful to know that I'm a capable man who has what it takes to build a beautiful life for himself. If you've gained any value from this video, then why not subscribe and like the video? I mean, it's a win-win for both of us. You get to keep watching valuable content like this, and I get to keep making it for you. Share some of your experience in the comments, since it will help the people watching this video, and it'll also help the video perform better with the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, man. Hope you have a nice night, and I'll see you later, man. Good luck.